What's up, guys? We're back here in Archeworld, and let's talk about a crazy thing that has happened in the last 2 weeks with this archeum price. So there was an event, a gear upgrade event, use protection stones, and so indirectly that event skyrocketed the red archeum price. So if we look back at the history here, there's a slight little bump. This one, oh wow, all the way up to 80 BSLT for the high point, 55 BSLT there, 57 BSLT there. And see, it was kind of around 40, 45 BSLT. But this event, it peaked some of these prices all the way up to 80 one day for people that needed red archeum. And there was only a few people that were actually really pushing this event. So now the prices of these guys are going back down. We're about 48 BSLT here on the North America server. Let's showcase the winners of this event. So this event's 2-week upgrade period. And so the Asia server definitely dominated this event. It was not Asia versus North America, but it kind of breaks down in that part, right? We'll make a comparison here. So Asia 1 and Asia 2 were fighting it out to see who was going to use the most protection stones used. And it ended up being Isla ended up using 1,156 protection stones. For those that don't know what protection stones are, let's go ahead and show that off. Protection stones are used to keep your gear from downgrading. So, Moonlight protection stones, you can see it used to enhance gear from levels 4 to level 9. You use these so that your gear does not have a chance to downgrade, because when you try to upgrade with the moon points, sun points, or star points, you have a potential chance to make it go down. So instead of going +5, you're going to make it go back down to +3 if you're at +4, and so forth. And the chance gets worse and worse and worse as you go higher up. When you are upgrading as well, you're also going to be spending red archeum. And this is the reason that the red archeum price skyrocketed for the last couple of weeks. The prices went up because people were consuming tens of thousands of archeum to attempt to upgrade their gears. We did see a little bit improvement in the power rankings of these things. So we look at the rankings, we can see, we go to the previous rank, we'll take a look at some of the gears. So most of the gears now, for the high-end players, like Spell here, he's got a +9 long spear. He's got a +9 illustrious bow. He's got a +7 ring, +6 ring, +9 earring, +8 earring, +8 necklace, +9 headpiece, +9 chest, +9 belt, and you get the idea. So you can see quite a few. Oh, a +10 gloves, very impressive. A lot of these players in the top actually spent tens of thousands of red archeum, tens of thousands of BSLT to upgrade their gear. We can go take a look at the American chart and see where Spell ended on this ranking. So Spell actually ended up in second place. He used 817 protection stones and took second place in this rankings. So he was doing this not necessarily because he had to, right? Spell is the strongest player in the America server. He's number one by a good amount. 24,500 gear score compared to 2,200. And I believe Moonfish is also in his guild, so he doesn't really have to worry about that person fighting him. It's a friendly member. So it's like realistically, he's 4,000 gear score higher than his next opponent. He doesn't really need to do this. Most people cannot even hit him, and he's just doing this because he wants to, because he enjoys playing the game, or he's addicted to the game. He's addicted to making his character stronger, things like that, right? When you do get up into the +9s, you do start to get some more combat level. So for his weapon, he got a 0.6 combat level increase. For his bow, he got a 0.3 combat level increase. For that +10 belts or glove, he got a total of a +5.5 combat level increase. So his combat level did go up very, very slightly. And, that is a good reason to do that. But there's no monsters that he's afraid of right now, right? The only monster he's afraid of is a Kraken. And the Kraken, it is more going to destroy your boat. You can't really hurt the Kraken without boats. So, upgrading your combat level doesn't do that much against the Kraken. It definitely will help, but it's not like you need to have combat level 100 to beat the Kraken. That's just not how it works. So, realistically, doing all these upgrades, it was for little to no reward. And that's why originally when I saw this event, I was like, this event sucks. No one's going to do this event. This is a garbage event. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. The event encouraged quite a few people to actually upgrade, and they fought over just 100 Sunlight Protection Charms, Moonlight Protection Charms, Starlight Protection Charms, right? First place was nothing to write home about, nothing really crazy, 100 charms and 2,000 gold. Second place, 50 and 1,000 gold. Nothing really like exciting, right? There was only 46 total people in the American region that actually even did this event. And this goes to show you, hey, these are the people that are willing to pay to play the game, right? There are more free-to-play players who are not paying anything and then trying to cash out, but these are the ones that are actively paying and, enjoying the game, trying the events, and these are the people that are keeping the economy flowing. Without these people, there's no one buying Red Archeum. There's no one buying Protection Charms. There's no one buying Sunlight, Moonlight, Star Points, things, right? These are the people that are doing all of the purchasing in the game. And this goes back to a point that I've always said, the free-to-play players really don't matter, right? The free-to-play players weren't even willing to buy 10 protection stones, or you could earn them, right? You could earn them in game. You could get them from Arc Pass. You can earn them by doing dungeons. You do not have to buy them. Everything in game can be earned free, free to play. You just got to go and grind it out, right? So, but they didn't want to do that. 46 people only wanted to do this, and even there, right? The 46th person did this 11th time, and because it's a great value proposition, right? At this point, you're going to spend 11 stones, and you're going to get 10 stones back, plus 200 gold, right? That's a pretty good thing. So you get a slight upgrade. Like, that's what I did on mine. I went a little crazy. I did 26. I wasn't trying to do more, but I was just like, I want to get +6. I got addicted. I got hooked into the event, and it's like, I'm going to get +6 on some of my gears. And so I did. I think I got +6 on almost all of my accessories, my weapons as well. So I was like, cool, I got +6. But the cost progressively gets higher and higher and higher. So at like +7, when you're attempting to make a +7 upgrade on a weapon, I believe it costs like 8,000 Archeum to do that. And that's, again, why these Archeum prices shot up. So Spell, for example, was doing this multiple times. And as you get higher, you start needing to use multiple protection charms per that upgrade. And once you get to +8 and +9, the Archeum cost is going to go higher, probably 10,000, 15,000, maybe 30,000 a click. Every single click, you're going to be spending and consuming lots and lots of Archeum. Weapons cost more Archeum. Accessories and armor are costing less Archeum. But, weapons were the ones that people do the most because they see, hey, I can get 3 combat level or I can get 6 combat level for getting a weapon at +10. And so people get sucked into, like, I want to make my weapon stronger. And they just spend tons and tons of resources. So if we look at this for America here, the top 2 players spent approximately 1,700 of these charms. And that's pretty much more than everyone else combined on the leaderboards, right? It might have been a little bit less if we add everyone up, but you can see the top 10 players definitely spent more than everyone else on the entire server, right? Even maybe the top 4 players. Craziness. And this goes back to the original point that you only need a couple of players to dramatically affect the economy and to make the economy flow. So Spell and Zuko for America's server were the reason that the Archeum prices really skyrocketed. Everyone else had a small part on this. They were upgrading some things, but you do produce some Archeum off your house and you can get some Archeum in game, and most likely you weren't really affecting the economy. But when you got someone who's grabbing 800 bundles of 10,000 Archeum to upgrade their gear, that's going to have an effect on the economy. Same thing with the Asia region. The top 2 or 3 players here, so it was about 4 players here, did over, 5 players did over 5, or 6 players did over 500 charms. Like, you can definitely see that the Asia server is more alive with active players who want to play the game than the America region. But the American region is no slouch. We have a couple people that are doing hundreds upon hundreds of these protection charms. But you can see this is just, impressive. We also got more data, too, showing that the land on Asia Server 1 is pretty full, right? So if we can go over here, let's see, where is this score? The latest thing that we got was the dividend, right? And so you can see Asia 1, they got 10 BSLT for a standard, 20 for a medium, 45 for a large, 78 for a thing. And this is all based on how many people are renting XL Games owned land plots. So it tells you the total amount of XL Games owned land plots dividend for the month of October was 96,000 BSLT for Asia 1. Asia 2 had a very small amount at 35,000. NA1 and NA2 had very, very small amounts at 41 and 49,000 respectively. So it goes to show you that Asia 1 is definitely the most populated server, and they are doing the most, gameplay. They're enjoying the game the most. So the question is, how do you fix the other servers and get them more populated? Obviously, fishing is a big point that we need to be brought up. Fishing needs to come. There needs to be more high-level activities. People need to feel like the game is fun to play. And, fishing is one of those components. Like more monsters, higher-level monsters in the sea is definitely needed as well. Just more reasons to actually play the game needs to be implemented into the game. And I do think that players will come back because a lot of them still have their gear, I think, right? So when we look at the gears on the auction house, we can see there are some gears up here for sale. Nothing too crazy, and not that many gears actually sell, though, right? So if we think we had, say, 10,000 players for America 1 and America 2 at peak, and we think maybe some of those had Tier 5 gear. Well, we look at the history, and you can look at the histories, and if you look in the past and see, not many of the gears actually sold. So people tried to sell their gear. They tried to sell it for 2,000, tried to sell it for 1,500, and people weren't buying it. So some people lowered the price down to like 1,000, right? They lowered it down to 1,000, and they finally got a couple sales. So people were like, yeah, I'll buy it at 1,000 BSLT. But some of the other players were like, screw that. I'm not going to sell my gear for under 1,500. They keep listing it for 2,000, and eventually they quit and just give up. And so their gear is still stuck on their character. I think a lot of people are like that, where they tried to sell their gear at a high price, and it just didn't sell, and so they just have it on their character, kind of like, whatever. When new content comes, I believe that people, especially that have gear on the character and have played the game before, will be like, whoa, let me check it out. Let me see what the ocean actually looks like once we get monsters. Let me see what the fishing looks like once we get fishing. Let me see what the Kraken actually is once Kraken is actually killable, right? Once we get updates, the older players that have quits, some of them, I believe, will come back and check the game out. And then, of course, we do need to attract new players to the game. And by attracting new players to the game, you just have to advertise, right? You have to give out incentives to join the game. Referral program could be nice because that doesn't cost the company anything at all. And you only pay once you get results. Like if you get someone that comes in and that buys things off of the auction house or spends BSLT or purchases BSLT, etc. Like you don't want to just refer anyone and then get a credit for having someone sign up, like what they did at the original server launches, where it's like, hey, yeah, go tell 15 friends, and then so everyone just made alt accounts and signed up. Like, you don't want that. You want there to be some kind of purchasing behind it, because if there is no purchase behind it, there's no like cost associated, you can just make bot accounts, you can make fake accounts, and you can just sign people up and be like, yep, I signed up. There's, inflate the numbers. There's tens of thousands of people that want to play, and realistically it's just one person who just inflated the numbers trying to game the system and win all the prizes. So an actual referral system that encourages people to buy BSLT, that could be a great system. Also, just promoting the content. I've talked about this with XL Games in our private supporters chat. We should do a Kraken killing event. Like, there should be a big reward for killing the first Kraken on Asia or America servers. And then they should have to record it and post the video on YouTube, and then give it to XL Games for verification, and then XL Games owns the video. They can use it in promotion, show off how cool the Kraken fight is, because the Kraken is a crazy cool monster with a great fight. And if someone does currently figure out how to beat the Kraken right now, no one's going to share the video or show it off because they want to free farm it, right? If you figure out how to kill a mega boss that drops a crazy amount of loot that is very valuable, you and your friends are going to want to farm it as much as possible and take all that loot to get stronger. You're not going to want to share it to other players. You're not going to want to tell them the secrets to winning the fight. You're going to want to take the loot for yourself and make that money. It's just common sense. So doing an event like this where it forces players to show off the tactics, show off the fight, show off how to, play and win in this battle, and then also in that regard it will show off how to contest the battle, right? So if you see people attacking the Kraken, now you know, like, okay, cool, here's some counter strategy to come and destroy and blow them up and have fun, because denying other people content is kind of fun, right? And blowing up other people's boats is kind of fun, like, right? PvP, when you do some damage is kind of fun, right? And if the people that are stronger than you are preoccupied by fighting a big massive Kraken in the ocean, and you're able to sneakily come in and just like pew 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 and blow up their boat, like, you're having a blast. The people that are fighting the Kraken are pissed off, and now they're going to be like more at war with you, and like it just causes a great conflict that makes the game more fun and enjoyable. So these kind of things need to be done, and I do have faith in XL Games. I do believe that we are going to see more content. I do think, though, that we are not going to see the European server for some time. I think there's going to be a lot of fixes before we see Europe open up, because I do believe that they realize right now it's not a good time to open up a new server. Obviously, financially, they wouldn't make hardly any money by opening up a new server and selling land plots like they did before. The land prices are down significantly, and once again, the land plots are down because people are not enjoying the content. There needs to be more fun, enjoyable content. Once people actually want to play the game, people will jump in and buy land. Land is actually quite profitable right now, right? When you look at it, when you look at the numbers and crunch the numbers, the archeum shards are currently around 18 BSLT, but we just showed off that the 10k archeum stacks sell for about 48 BSLT. So you can see, just by buying archeum shards and then crafting it at your house, you're making a good amount of profit. So houses are quite profitable right now. It's just people are not enjoying the game itself. And that always needs to be first. The game needs to be enjoyable. The game needs to be fun. And they need to figure that stuff out. So we'll see what they're doing. They've done some quality of life updates in the past couple of weeks. It's been little minor things that have definitely helped out. The Blue Salt Star update was a really, really cool update, actually. So you go buy the funds, you buy the stars, and they actually go to your mailbox if your inventory is full, which then you can select all. So that was a great change that we've been asking for a while. The search history in the auction house, where you can search for items that are not available and there's nothing on the auction house, a great little change. Just little small quality of life changes are having a good impact overall, and it's just a big work in progress, right? So Archeworld, I think, will still be here in 5 years, and in 5 years it actually probably will be a really fun, enjoyable game. Hope to see you guys in the future, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, as always. If you made it this far, please support the game and the channel by hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down there. Let me know what you think about the event. Did you do the event? Did you not do the event? Post down in the comment section why you didn't do the event if you didn't. If you did the event, post down in the comment section why you did the event as well. Love to hear from you guys to see what you guys were thinking about that event. I hope they do a lot more events like this in the future. I think these things are great and really, really help, improve the game experience. Hopefully they have some kind of event kind of going on every single month. That would be very nice. Definitely different kind of events, but all in the same avenue. Obviously character improvement is what you really want to promote, or maybe like dungeons, like do an event where it tracks the dungeons, how many people are actually playing the dungeon rather than sweeping the dungeon, and give out rewards for people who are playing the dungeon. Stuff like that could be fun and exciting. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Again, see you.